that area, migliaccio, a lovely crustless ricotta and semolina cake, delicately flavored with lemon zest, orange and vanilla. So let's make our semolina, and for that we are using ground durum wheat flour, which is not the coarse type, it's the finer one. And we are just going to heat up some milk in a pot with some water. And while that gathers a little bit of heat, I'm going to split a vanilla bean and pop everything into the pot, including the bean. I want to extract all the flavor. And I'm going to get some zest of an orange and a lemon, and only get the rind and not the white pith, because it's just a bit bitter. And I'm going to pop that in there. And now a little lemon zest. Give it a stir. Perfect. Now let's measure out some semolina. I'll need about 200 grams. And basically, when you make semolina, it's just like making polenta. It's exactly the same process. When this starts coming to a slight simmer, you pour it in and you start whisking it, but you don't pour it in all at once, because otherwise it gets really lumpy. You have to be a little bit patient. So you can see there's tiny bubbles forming around the edges, which is our cue for the semolina to go in. Great, now let's rein it in as you would with polenta. Then keep whisking thoroughly until the mixture thickens. And when it looks good, add a little butter. It's beautifully smooth and very creamy. I'm just going to give it one last whisk. There we go. Look at this. And now I am going to actually pour it onto this shallow plate, because I want it to cool down before I add it to the other ingredients. With the semolina mixture cooling, I'm going to add 4 eggs to a bowl and then mix in about 220 grams of caster sugar. Just whisk this. There you go. But look how pale and fluffy this is. Now we're going to add some ricotta to this mixture. And it will turn this base into the creamiest, most wonderful one. There we go. And then just whisk it through. And to that, I'm going to add some grated zest as well. There is never enough citrus zest for me. Both oranges and lemons together. Beautiful. Whisk it through. And now that the semolina is cooled, we can add it to this mixture. But before you add your cooled semolina to the bowl, make sure you remove the vanilla pod and all the lemon and orange rind. And then add this to this. Then whisk it all together. And this beautiful, beautiful mixture is now finally ready to go in a cake tin. Okay, just give it a shake to make sure that it settles and it's quite even. And then this goes in the oven for an hour. In it goes. Once the migliaccio is out of the oven, it's super important to let it rest and firm for at least another hour, but I promise you it's worth the wait. Look at this. As you can see, it's really shiny and it's sunken and settled, and it's going to be really nice and custardy in the inside. So all I'm going to do is peel it off, just like that, and I'm going to dust it with a tiny bit of icing sugar, lightly dusted. I still want to see the shine and that beautiful golden caramel color.